Hello everyone and welcome to another How Slim Would book video. First one in a while, to be honest. Um, just because I haven't really thought of anything to book. But now I have. Um, this one, as you've probably seen in the title, because that's what you clicked on, is Undertaker's Final Farewell. Um, so, we'll start by explaining how we're going to start it, and that, or why we're going to start it, I should say, is it's because we're going to pop a rating. That's what WWE likes to do. So let's do it. Um, and I think the easiest way to pop a rating is to do it on the first night we have fans back. So we have Undertaker show up, and he says that either at SummerSlam, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series or WrestleMania, I don't know which one. The story stays the same for most of it. It just depends. It changes a little bit, but I'll go through both scenarios. Like Survivor Series where he debuted, so you can do a 25th anniversary thing for him in front of fans, or you just wait till Mania because it's Mania for Taker. But yeah, right. So he comes out and says that in either Survivor Series or Mania, he's going to have one more match. Nothing really happens until post SummerSlam, or during the Rumble, depending on where the show is at, or where the match is at, I should say, whether it's Survivor Series or Mania. But that's where we start the build. So either way, yeah, we're just going to go through the thing anyway. Like, we're going to go through both of them. Right, I'm just got my notes here, so just bear with me. I'm not a professional at this. Right, we'll start at some Survivor Series anyway. If it's at Survivor Series, the post SummerSlam episode of Raw, we get a special Firefly Funhouse. Bray says that he heard that the Undertaker is having one last match, and he wants Taker's soul. If the match is happening at Mania, then the Rumble match comes down to the final four. We have Fiend, Nakamura, Priest, and Corbin. Priest and Fiend battle each other, and so do Nakamura and Corbin, because why not? As Priest is about to be eliminated, the lights go out, gong sounds, Taker grabs the Fiend by the throat and drags him out, from the outside, just sort of over the top rope. That eliminates him. And just because we can, Priest wins the Rumble by last eliminating Corbin. Next night on Raw, we get the special edition of the Funhouse, where Bray says that Taker made a huge mistake, and he will make Undertaker rest in peace. Lights go out the Funhouse, and when they come back, on the door, we have the Undertaker's symbol. Why not? We then build to the match, mostly by having Bray sort of turn back into the cult leader Bray, so he just sort of goes on and on and on in his promos about, vague things. But at the end of the promos, it's sort of like Firefly Funhouse Bray, where he sort of, does the whole "have a good day" or whatever he says. That's Mick Foley, but he does that whole thing, and the Fiend shows up, and blah blah blah. Taker responds after a few weeks, saying that Bray is overhyped and not even in his league, and that Taker will always beat Bray, like he did at WrestleMania 31. Eventually, Bray tells The Undertaker that their match is going to be a Funhouse match. If The Undertaker has the balls to accept, Taker does. So, now, we've been through what the actual difference is, so it's literally just, there's a special edition of the Funhouse where he says that he's going to take Taker's soul if it's at SummerSlam, and then we have it in the Rumble match, and Bray says that Taker made a huge mistake for targeting the Fiend. So that's the difference. That is the difference. But at the show, whichever one it is, the match starts with Bray in the funhouse asking Mercy, Abby, Rambling Rabbit, Huskus, Big Boy, all the puppets, where the Undertaker is before the lights go out. Taker appears. Taker beats up Bray until the lights turn red and the Fiend appears. So, yeah, it all just sort of goes dark, comes back up, and it's just Bray, so Bray can take some damage. So, yeah, the Fiend shows up, hits Taker, and Taker's clothes. They change back to when he debuted, like the outfit that he wore when he debuted. Fiend hits him again, and they change to the next iteration of what his clothes morphed into, and that keeps happening. You have that, and then you have him with Brother Love beside him. Then you have Paul Bearer show up in a hologram beside him. All that. This keeps happening until we get to the Unholy Trinity Taker. And this time when the Fiend hits the Undertaker, the lights go out. Lightning hits, fire erupts, and we see that the two of them are in hell. Also, Demon Kane is there because we want to see Kane. Kane's great. Taker tells Bray that he's using powers that Taker granted him, since Taker's like the devil. And he says that if he wants, he can take them back. And with that, Bray goes back to being Husky Harris. Taker then hits Bray, turning him back into Cult Leader Bray, and that happens till we get back to the Fiend. The lights go out as the Fiend and Undertaker hit each other at the same time, and they both appear in the ring in front of the crowd, because obviously we're doing this with a crowd, so we don't want it all to be, filmed. So, yeah, they're now sharp in the arena, in the ring. They do the double clothesline spot after slugging them out for a bit, so, whatever. After the double clothesline, when they're both down, Taker does his sit-up, Fiend does the whole crab spider, thing that Bray does. They then fight some more before Taker hits his signature moves, ending with a choke slam and tombstone, but the Fiend kicks out. Fiend hits all of his signature moves, including the Uranagi, the neck snap, Sister Abigail, Mandible Claw, but Taker powers out of it before Fiend hits another Sister Abigail after reversing a tombstone, locks in the Mandible Claw, and the ref counts the pin. So the Fiend wins. Post-match, Fiend does the Bray pose where he's on his knees, arms out, sort of thing, and we see the soul of the Undertaker leave Taker's body and go into Bray. Also, when that happens, it sort of goes into Bray, the lights go out, and then the lights come back on, and it's just got, like, Taker's jacket, gloves, shoes, hat, all that shit in the ring. Almost like Bray has eaten him, sort of thing. So in future matches with the Fiend, we see him use Taker's moveset, mixed in with his own, obviously. Like, you don't want Bray to become the Undertaker in that sense, where it's Bray Wyatt, but he's the Undertaker, isn't he? Like, you want Bray to still be Bray, so he just sort of, hits a old school out of nowhere, hits the tombstone out of nowhere, that sort of thing. Also, in the Funhouse, Bray looks into the mirror and sees the Undertaker, so, Taker talks to him as well, so it's almost like he's crazy. Yeah, like, we can, when you shoot it, you just sort of have Undertaker standing there and talking to him. Because we don't want to get rid of the Undertaker, that's just stupid. But we don't want Undertaker wrestling anymore. Yeah, so we can keep having Taker show up. That's really all all I want to do is have Bray get this huge push of momentum and everything, but keep the Undertaker around. You know, it's also a good ratings pop, which is what WWE is all about. Also, another good thing that we can do to help with the ratings pop is we can have the Undertaker show up. And to do that, we just sort of have Bray say that if he wants, he can morph into the Undertaker. And we see that Undertaker comes out, does his whole rest in peace thing. Just because you can have the Undertaker do something. Essentially becoming a manager to Bray Wyatt. Like, the mouthpiece sort of thing. But not the mouthpiece, because Bray's good at that. So, like, if we need an intense person to talk for Bray, you get the Undertaker. Yeah, and everything makes storyline sense. That's the thing. It makes sense. The Fiend beating Undertaker makes sense. Fiend absorbing Undertaker, because we're gonna do some crazy shit. Why not end it with that? And then, because he's absorbed him, Taker is in Bray's mind. So he can see him, he can hear him, he can morph into him, because we're doing crazy shit. But yeah, it all just makes sense in the context of kayfabe and the Fiend and Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker. So yeah, that's how I'd book the Undertaker's final farewell. Let me know what you would do in the comment sections down below. What you would change, how you would book it, I guess. But yeah, other than that though, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit notification bell, follow the Facebook, Twitter and Twitch. Links to those are in the description, and other than that, thanks for watching, goodbye and good night.